Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us in Arawa's Diary. My name is Arawa and I'm glad to have you on this platform. If you're just watching our videos for the first time and you're yet to subscribe to this channel, I'll please plead with you to subscribe, and please don't forget to click on the notification button so that you would get notified every time we drop a new video. Tonight, I just want to briefly talk about staying motivated even when everything doesn't seem to be working the way you want it to work. Okay, so Les Brown says the desire to achieve that which we decided to be worthwhile is motivation. The desire to achieve that which we decided to be worthwhile. That is what Les Brown calls motivation. Alright, so how do you stay motivated? How do you stop yourself from being overwhelmed with that big idea? For example, maybe you want to start a workout routine. How do you stay motivated to doing it? How do you stay motivated even when maybe you just lost out on something huge and something you expected to actually make so much from? How do you stay motivated even when you think all hope is lost? Well, the first thing I believe you need to do to stay motivated is to look at the big picture. What is that thing that you always wanted to achieve? What is that thing that actually got you started in the first place? When you remember that thing and you commit to it, then it's going to help you to want to keep at what you're doing and not to give up. Another thing you can do is to change the way you look at your situation, to change the way you look at what is happening to you right now. And then when you change your outlook, when you change the way you look at that thing, maybe you're looking at it from the positive, the negative angle, and then you change to the positive view, that change in outlook would change the picture you're seeing. Again, to picture it as achievable, then it starts becoming achievable to me. My brain starts seeing it as achievable, and then I start being able to achieve it. Okay, and I start looking, and if I keep telling myself that this is achievable, for example, you can write it down, and then in the morning you write it in a positive light. I can write it as adding weight is achievable, and then I look at it in the morning and I say, okay, adding weight is achievable, so how many kilos do I want to add per day or per week? I have to be able to break it down to achievable tiny bits and say, okay, I want to add 5 kg every week till I get to so weight. Let's say I want to achieve 60 kg and probably I'm currently 45 kg, so I say I want to achieve 50 kg every week, and then I look at it in the morning and say I need to achieve 50 kg every week. I need to achieve 50 kg every week. So I pick it up in the afternoon, I look at it again, I say I need to achieve 50 kg every week. I pick it again in the evening and I say I need to achieve 50 kg every week. When I continue to look at this, when I continue to focus my mind on this, my brain begins to think of ways in which I can actually actualize that idea, that dream that I've actually begun to think of as achievable. And then I begin to see different things. Maybe I used to go through the store and I never actually noticed this thing I could eat to make me add weight, but because I put it at the back of my mind, I need to get 5 kg every week, I need to add 5 pounds every week, and then I begin to see the different things that I could use. I begin to be more open to the new things that I could do. The same thing if you want to lose weight. Maybe you decided on an exercise routine. Once you change your attitude to exercise and say exercising is achievable, maybe I need to lose 1 kg per week, then I need to start thinking of what can I do to lose 1 kg. I need to first see it as possible. I need to first tell myself that it's possible to lose that 1 kg every week by looking at it, writing it down, going through over it every time. And then when I begin to go through it, I begin to think, okay, maybe if I just jog for 5 minutes every day, maybe if I just do this squat for 5 minutes every day, and then I begin to see the simple ways of doing it. But if I say, oh, exercise is difficult, I can't do it, then I would never do it, even when I think it's important for me. But when I see that something that is achievable, something that I can do, then I'll be able to keep working at it to make it achievable. Another thing is to make decisions about this particular thing that you think is achievable. Make decisions that will help you towards actualizing that dream. Make decisions that will help you towards achieving that dream. Something else you can do is to make positive confessions about that situation. Maybe you're demoralized about something you just experienced, or something happened and made you suddenly start to feel like a failure. You need to start making positive affirmations. Start talking to yourself that I can do this, I can achieve this. And then the more you talk to yourself, you would realize, the more that you tell yourself that you can do it, you will realize that the more you begin to realize ways and opportunities, the more you begin to see opportunities, the more you begin to see the bigger picture, the little things that you can do to achieve that dream. If you begin to see failure as an opportunity to learn, if you failed one time and you realize that, oh, because I did it this way, I failed, what can I do? You begin to learn from your failure. You begin to see failure as, the way Oprah puts it, the universe, life telling you, fool, that's not the way to do it. And then you're like, oh, that's not the way to do it. Then what is the way to do it? How can I do this thing? How can I achieve this thing? So when you begin to see the positive side of life, it becomes easier for you to actually actualize and achieve your dream. Like our guest on the live show, like he said, when you see the big picture, when you failed and you're able to take yourself out of that situation and look at it from a holistic perspective, it helps you to attack that problem, also attack that dream, that desire in a different light. Another thing that is very important is to always commit your ways before God. Always put God first. Always commit the things you want to do into the hands of God. He's your maker anyways. He's your creator. He has the bigger picture. He has a blueprint. It's just like when you buy a phone and then you don't know how to use a feature. You can always refer to a manual. God is your creator. He's the one that made you. So you need to always go back to God from time to time. When you have a problem, you need to talk to him about it, and he will direct you. The Bible says the word of the Lord is a light unto my path and a lamp unto my feet. That word that God has, the word with which he made everything that you can see today, is that same word that you can use to create the realities that you want. And it is that same word that once you believe it, that this thing is achievable, and you keep telling yourself it's achievable, that same thing will throw light and would help you to see things differently. Now, you should stop focusing on what you're feeling and start focusing on what you want to achieve. Oh, I'm not feeling like I can do it. Or people have told you that you can't do it. But why don't you focus on the bigger picture, on that thing that inspired you to start, that thing that bettered your motivation in the first place? The fact that it is achievable, the fact that it is possible. Why don't you just shift your focus a little from thinking negatively to thinking positively? From seeing it as impossible to seeing it as possible. You might have been told different things by different people, but guess what? When you don't give up, when you keep at that business, when you keep at that dream, when you start looking for the ways to do it better and you start doing it over and over again, the same people that told you was impossible would celebrate you because you are not giving up. So you need to get as much from your losses as you get from your wins. You need to get as much from your failures. You did it the first time and you failed. You need to learn why you failed. And then you begin to work at succeeding. You begin to attack it from a different perspective. You begin to do it over and over again. I remember the very first time I attempted to speak in public. I was scared to my bones. I was shaking. But I knew that I wanted to, when I'm alone and I talk to myself, I knew that I enjoyed talking. But it took me to try again and try again, and I went for debating competitions where I did not win. But I didn't give up on debating. I just told myself I could do better. And I believed in the fact that I can always improve. And so I would go to resources and go to watch videos of people that are actually doing this thing and motivating people and speaking to people. And I started to get better, and I believe I'm still going to keep getting better because I believe I can do it. I'm not giving up on myself, and I don't want you to give up on yourself. Just keep at it. Look at your failures. Why did I fail? I remember the very first time I went for a debating competition, I crammed. I wrote this beautiful piece and I crammed it. And I got to a point and I started stuttering. Why? Because I said some things that people shared me on. And because I got distracted, it was like I lost my line of thought. And I realized cramming will not help me. I needed to know my topic. I needed to understand the nitty-gritty of the things I wanted to talk about, so that even when there is an applause, I can always go back to the point I had in mind and continue to build on it. So I discovered that cramming wasn't my way. And I realized that there were people that would go to do a speech. There were paid motivational speakers that would go to do a speech and then they would have a note. And I realized that having a note wasn't a bad thing anyways. So I started to develop notes and I started to look at these things. And I realized that I kept improving. Now, so when you're facing a challenging situation, what you should do is to get still and ask yourself, what is the next right move?